Here are the top things you can say to a narcissist that will infuriate them, hit the ego, and make them incredibly frustrated. Number 1, any form of the word no, or any phrase that has the word no in it. A narcissist never, ever wants to be told they can't have something or they can't do something. A true narcissist has a very large sense of entitlement, and they feel as if they should never be told no. Much like a child not getting their way, you're going to see an absolute tantrum when this happens. When you give a narcissist any kind of no, negative, tell them that maybe something makes you uncomfortable. You don't want to do that. You tell them to slow down. This is all moving too quickly for you. You need time to think about a certain situation or something that's happening before you give a yes or no response. You're going to feel rushed and upset and probably forced into making a decision because they never want to be told no. Number 2, you're wrong. The ego of a narcissist is about as delicate as you can get, and you can certainly give them an ego boost. But boy, oh boy, it does not take much at all. Even if you have been boosting their ego all day long, it takes one little phrase to completely dash it and destroy it all. Telling a narcissist that they're wrong, whether you're doing this maliciously or not, can embarrass them, make them feel stupid and insecure, and also extremely defensive. Highly narcissistic people have obsessive needs to always be right and to always win. And when you flat out tell a narcissist that they're dead wrong, regardless of the situation, whatever the outcome might be, this deeply hurts them, hits that ego, causes that narcissistic injury, and angers them. Number 3, I'm leaving you. Of course, telling a narcissist that the friendship is over, the relationship is over, whatever bond you have, that is all over and done with, it hits the ego and definitely will not be taken lightly. I have to refer back to just a moment ago to them always wanting to be right. They do want to be right in every situation, regardless of what it is. They're what Dr. Phil calls like right fighters. They don't really care what they're fighting about. They just want to be told that they're right. But also they want to win. And that's where it comes in right here. They want to win the relationship, the friendship, but they also want to win in terms of when the relationship ends or friendship, whatever it is. They want to win the breakup. They need things to end on their terms. A narcissist needs time to do certain things. And if you just walk out very quickly, they haven't had time to, for instance, get a new source of supply. They haven't had time to groom that supply and make sure it's a stable, steady source. They don't have time to play the victim and run a full-blown smear campaign on you. All of these things have to be done on their schedule, on their timeline. So when you leave abruptly, this takes them off guard. And when you deny them all of this and leave, again, that is one hell of a narcissistic injury. Number 4, I know who you really are. This phrase can be horrific for a narcissist as it kind of alludes to exposure. A narcissist being exposed is something they desperately try to not let happen with anybody, ever. And once they know that you know, most things fall apart pretty quickly. And this can tap into multiple fears that a narcissist has. Exposure, abandonment. It can trigger attachment issues. They can try to gaslight you. It will cause a lot to kind of happen right there. Exposure is dangerous, and a narcissist just simply cannot afford it. They will get very nervous when you say things like, I know who you really are. I know what's really going on. And very dangerous, scary phrases like that. Number 5, I am too busy for you. Narcissists want all of your time and attention. We know this, especially in love bombing or if they don't have any other good sources of supply to jump around to at the moment. Every single second you have, again, the sense of entitlement, they feel entitled to that. It should be absolutely dedicated to them. And when you refuse to do this, the narcissist can feel abandoned, forgotten, overlooked, and unimportant. And that's one big blow to their self-esteem. And telling a narcissist that you're busy can also cause them to feel a twinge of jealousy. especially if you're giving your time to another person or people or something that you enjoy, like your kids or even your hobbies. This can cause them to become very upset. And they might even try to ruin the hobby or ruin something that you enjoy. Try to put a wedge between you and your children, family, parents, get you to quit your job. They might try to do something to where they can get all of your time and attention. If you'd like to talk to a fellow survivor one-on-one and get some help and some support for what you're going through, you can send an email to bookachatwithjess@gmail.com to set up an appointment for a private session with me. If you don't want to email, there is a link down in the description for you to just click on and you can set up the appointment from there. Number 6, you are a disappointment. And this one can be said a few different ways. You're disappointing. This relationship is really disappointing. Any form of words that will really make a person feel massive amounts of shame. I thought you were better than this. It's my personal favorite. Again, stuff that really hits that ego, and it's going to cause that narcissistic injury. Narcs absolutely know what shame is, and they do their very best to hide it with their fantasy world that they delve into further and further every time they feel shame. That fantasy world filled with justifications for their behavior and excuses for why this nonsense is okay. Saying to someone highly narcissistic that they're disappointing makes them feel terrible and extremely inadequate. Number 7, it's your fault. Ooh boy, we all know one of the true key signs of narcissism is an adult acting like a child and refusing to take responsibility for their actions. Telling a narcissist it's their fault and trying to get them to behave like a grown-up is incredibly frustrating, not only for you, but for a narcissist who has absolutely no intention of doing any of this. A narcissist will hate being told to their face something is their fault. They need to take the responsibility. They need to handle it and correct it. It is their fault and no one else's. Highly infuriating to someone with such a big ego who thinks they're so great. Number 8, you are a liar. You can also say this one different ways. I don't believe you. I don't believe your story. I don't buy this bullshit that you're trying to sell me. You're a liar. However you really want to say it. Narcissists enjoy when you buy all of this garbage that they are trying to sell. And when you don't, this causes issues. They can double down on their lies. They can become very argumentative. When they do double down, they're going to gaslight you. They're going to tell you that you're crazy. Well, I already explained this to you. Why do I have to explain this again? They can devalue you, try to make you feel stupid, like you don't know what's going on. They desperately need you to believe all of this nonsense that they're spewing at you in that moment. And once you let them know that you're never going to trust them, at least on this issue anyway, they usually walk away feeling outsmarted, and this can lead to anger, among other things. Number 9, I really don't care. Let's be honest, just flat out telling anybody that you don't care sucks to hear, and it's kind of hurtful, but saying this to a narcissist that you don't care is another phrase that truly gets under their skin. It can cause them jealousy. Well, if you don't care about them, then you must care about somebody else. Or what do you mean you don't care? This is your problem. You have to fix it. Again, very gaslighty. They can get passive aggressive, highly argumentative. They might decide they're going to get hostile, yell and scream. Telling someone that you don't care and they have such a fragile ego, it just hurts those little itty bitty feelings. I know that there's a bunch more that I didn't mention. So tell me down in the comments what other words and phrases just really drive a narcissist crazy. Please like the video and subscribe for more videos on narcissism. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.